What's going on, everybody? Mike here with iSMELL. Hope this video is finding everybody well. So a couple weeks ago at this point, the homie Tyler included me in a tag video. The concept of this tag was to compile a list of 5 fragrances, all of which you could wear as signature scents.
And today I'm bringing you a tag video. We're talking about 5 signature scents. Now I gotta tag a couple people. I'm gonna tag Mike from iSMELL. I wanna see what you got, brother.
Well, seeing as I'm not the type of person to shy away from a challenge, that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. What I have for y'all are 5 fragrances, including 2 honorable mentions, all of which can be worn as signature scents. I'm not gonna hold y'all here too long. We have quite a bit of info to get through in this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, like I said, 2 honorable mentions. The reason I included 2 was because back in the day, before I started collecting fragrances, or before I even knew what a fragrance community was, I had 2 signature scents. One for the cooler months of the year, one for the warmer months of the year. The first one I'm gonna show y'all is the one that I wore during the warmer months of the year. This one comes from the house of Lacoste. The name of this fragrance is Lacoste Essential. So yeah, I was wearing this one around 2009, 2010, before I even knew what the fragrance community was. I just remember going to Macy's, looking for something I could wear for the summer. I smelled everything they had on the shelf, and then I left with this one. In terms of what it smells like, it's extremely fresh, reinvigorating. It's not overly sweet. It's not super citrusy. You do get some sweet tangerine. You get sharp green notes, which turns out I love green fragrances, so it makes sense why I would have been drawn to that one back in the day. It's tomato leaf. You're gonna get some rosy floral nuances, and then a slightly woody dry down. It's kind of a generic dry down in all honesty, but it smells great in all honesty. And considering I've ran through like 4 or 5 of these bottles within my life, and I did wear it as a signature scent, it made sense to include it on this list. So at the first honorable mention, again, we have Lacoste Essential. All right, so the second honorable mention is going to be a fragrance that I wore religiously in the cold weather. Again, let me reiterate, before I knew what the fragrance community was, before I knew who Jeremy Fragrance was, I was rocking this fragrance. This one comes from Yves Saint Laurent. The name of this fragrance is La Nuit de l'Homme. So a lot of the reason why people hate on this fragrance in general is because it's a victim of its own success, and then over time it has been a victim of reformulations. And I will admit this is a more neutered and watered down version of its predecessor, but let me just tell you, let me reiterate, I was rocking this one around 2009 to 2013 religiously. So yeah, in terms of how this one smells, the name of the game on this one is spiciness, sexy spiciness meets aromatic lavender, dry woods down in the base. It's a great fragrance. It's still a great fragrance to this day, one that is worthy of being in your collection. I admit I don't wear it as much anymore, and then some people are going to be more drawn to Blue Electrique nowadays because it's a little bit more potent. Nonetheless, it was a fragrance that I wore as a signature scent. So at the second honorable mention spot today from YSL, we have La Nuit de l'Homme. Okay, so as we transition to the first official fragrance, I do want to let you know that I tried to pick fragrances that weren't so much seasonal season scents, but more so fragrances that you could wear all year as a signature scent. I do feel like this first one fits the bill perfectly. Fragrance number 1 comes from the house of Mancera. The name of this fragrance is Cedrat Boisé. So what I like about Cedrat Boisé is it does a good job of being confident, mature, while at the same time being laid back, which I certainly do appreciate. In terms of the fragrance itself, it's going to be complex enough to where you are going to stand out, but it's not too challenging. It's the perfect type of fragrance to enter into the world of niche. The notable notes in Cedrat Boisé is going to include fruity notes, lemon, blackcurrant, spices, leather, as well as cedar. Now I'll give you a couple sprays of this one. I do want to let you know that the atomizer on mine is kind of janky, so it probably won't spray that well. It smells great, you guys. It's a signature scent. It's a fragrance that can be worn all year. So this one here does get compared to Creed Aventus quite often, but in my honest and humble opinion, it's not that close to Creed Aventus. It lacks that smoky birch that Creed Aventus is synonymous with. In terms of how it smells, it's a lemony, fresh fruit medley with a luxurious woodiness in the base. All the while you get this semi-sweet muskiness to the overall composition. It's an excellent fragrance to use as a signature scent. If you're in your 30s, a professional individual who just wants to spray on something and go, not really think about it, it's a great fragrance to add to your collection. At the number 1 spot, again from the house of Mancera, we have Cedrat Bosé. All right, so moving on to fragrance number 2, and in all honesty, all transparency, I think one of my ring lights is broke. Like, it won't turn on, but we're gonna keep it moving. This is the second time that that's happened now, so I will probably have to purchase another light, but we're gonna keep rocking because I don't have all day to record. This next one here literally has signature in the name, so at its very core, it's a fragrance that was designed to be worn as a signature scent. Not only that, it comes from one of my favorite houses in general. Fragrance number 2 comes from the house of Zaharoff. The name of this fragrance is Signature Pour Homme. So again, to reiterate, Signature Pour Homme is exactly that. It's a signature fragrance at its core. You can wear this one all year, although I do think it's going to shine the most during the fall just because of the scent profile and note breakdown itself. To expand on that, what Signature Pour Homme is it's a modern take, a more everyday man type take on the classic genre, that barbershop style genre. The notable notes in Signature Pour Homme is going to include lavender, cypress, incense, myrrh, patchouli, as well as woody notes, but specifically in the form of oud. I'll give you a couple sprays on this one and let you know what I smell. It smells amazing. This is an amazing fragrance, you guys. In terms of the scent profile itself, what you're gonna smell is right off the bat, it pays homage to that barbershop genre. It kind of has that barbershop vibe just a little bit, but more so, you're going to get a very sexy kind of dark, aromatic lavender being blended with this smoky, dark, woody note. All the while, in the spirit of being a fougere, you get green notes thrown into the mix. That's that cypress and patchouli. And the patchouli in here, I do pick up on, and I love it. All in all, it's a beautiful fragrance, one that I would deem to be a masterpiece. It was my first fragrance that I ever smelt from Zaharoff, which I'm glad I started here. If you haven't smelt any Zaharoff fragrances, I would recommend you start with this one. That way you know what the rest of them are basing its original DNA from. All in all, it's a fragrance that can be worn all year, versatile, signature scent. At the number 2 spot from the house of Zaharoff, we have Signature Pour Homme. All right, so moving on to fragrance number 3. This one here has been featured on the channel on several different occasions and for very good reason. Despite how polarizing the scent profile itself may be, it's hard to deny that for those of y'all who enjoyed the scent profile itself, you don't get much better. It's a versatile daily driver. It's a signature scent. Fragrance number 3 comes from the house of Hermes. The name of this fragrance is Terre de Hermes EDT. All right, so this one is going to appeal to the type of professional, mature person who wants to wear something that increases their sense of being put together. At least that's what it does for me. The notable notes on Terre de Hermes is going to include orange, pepper, vetiver, flint, cedar, as well as patchouli. I'll give you a couple sprays of this one. Great atomizer. Yeah, this one here is a dry, masculine scent profile characterized by peppery, orange meets dry, earthy vetiver. Again, it's a very mature scent profile. Not going to be for everybody, but for those of y'all that can pull it off, this is a lifer type fragrance. This is one that I absolutely swear by. Definitely a fragrance that can be used as a daily driver, a versatile signature scent that's going to have you standing out from the crowd 100%. At the number 3 spot today from the house of Hermes. The name of this fragrance is Terre de Hermes EDT. All right, so when you think about versatile fragrances that can be worn all year, for a good majority of us, myself at least, what comes to mind are blue fragrances, and that's the direction we're gonna go with this next one. Fragrance number 4 comes from the house of Chanel. The name of this one is Bleu de Chanel. This is the Eau de Parfum. So as it relates to blue fragrances themselves, I do believe Bleu de Chanel was essentially the first. It's the prototype in many type of ways. Notable notes on Bleu de Chanel is going to include citrus, ginger, mint, incense, pepper, as well as amberwoods. Now, for those of y'all living under a rock and don't know what Bleu de Chanel smells like, I'll enlighten you. It's basically a luxurious body wash slash aftershave with an aqua velva vibe. In the case of Bleu de Chanel EDP, what they did was added incense and amberwoods in order to give the fragrance itself more complex depth, in all honesty. Again, it's my favorite blue fragrance of all time, dollar for dollar. It's one of my favorites in general. One that if you were just looking for one fragrance in your collection to wear all year, you wouldn't go wrong with Bleu de Chanel. At the number 4 spot, again, from the house of Chanel, we have Bleu de Chanel EDP. All right, so last but not least, and if you are still watching, big salute. This last one here is going to be a discontinued flanker for literally the most popular and best-selling fragrance of all time. Some of y'all already know which direction I'm going with this one. Fragrance number 5 comes from Giorgio Armani. The name of this fragrance is Acqua di Gio Profumo. So I do still maintain dollar for dollar that Acqua di Gio Profumo is the best flanker to ever come out of the Acqua di Gio line, with Essenza trailing closely behind. Before y'all get in a frenzy, because Essenza is like $200, $300, $400, but before y'all get in a frenzy, because this is going to go up in price, just be aware that Acqua di Gio Parfum, the new flanker that was released this year, is about 90% similar, so don't break the bank trying to get Profumo. Having said that, I am glad that I got the hefty 4.2 ounce bottle. Notable notes in Profumo is going to include C notes, bergamot, incense, rosemary, sage, as well as patchouli. In a nutshell, this fragrance is the OG Acqua di Gio. It retains the easy breezy demeanor of the original, the oceanic vibe, but what they did was added incense notes as well as herbal green facets, which gives this one additional dimension, complexity, as well as maturity. Again, dollar for dollar, it's one of the best fragrances to ever come from Acqua di Gio, the entire line itself, one that is worthy of being on this list in general. At the number 5 spot, from again the house of Giorgio Armani, we have Acqua di Gio Profumo. All right, you guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for me. Those are 5 signature scents that you could wear anytime, anywhere, at any point in the year, hot or cold. I really do appreciate you checking out the video. Apologies for the light variations in the video. Like I said, this video was a nightmare to record, but in the spirit of this being a tag video, I'm gonna include a couple people. I'm gonna include Randy, aka the Fragrance Dude. Also, a channel that y'all might not know about, his name is Dr. Magnificent, spelled Scent. He does awesome edits. He has great taste in fragrances and has a very unique personality. He brings something different to the fragrance game. Check his channel out as well. Both of y'all are tagged, and I'm also going to include the homie Bobby over at Twilly's 2 Cents. If you haven't done this video yet, brother, by all means, feel free to hit us up with some signature scents that you enjoy rocking, that you would recommend to us to try. Nonetheless, I really do love and appreciate all the support. We have a full bottle of Blue Atlas giveaway that's going to be happening very soon, if it hasn't already happened by the time this video comes out, and we have a ton of exciting content coming out nonetheless, and I do want to start live streaming soon. All the while, I do love and appreciate all the support, you guys. I really honestly do. Until next time, you guys, y'all take care, stay safe. I'll see y'all around. All right, bye.